Hi everyone, Ashley here and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd do just a little chatty video that I think would be appropriate since I've done so many travel videos in the last couple months because I did do like 3 trips over the summer and it kind of got me rethinking about how I'm traveling and everything. And so I thought I'd just bring 5 tips today on how to travel more minimalist, so minimalist travel tips. This is something I've always been interested in. I like minimalism in my life in general. I definitely am not as extreme as some other people, but I definitely don't like to hold on to things that are not useful to me. So I like that in my home, and I actually push it more to the extreme when I travel because I want to travel easily, lightly, and comfortably. I don't want to be weighed down by stuff and bring home 5 outfits I never wore and all that stuff. I'm panicking about the weight of my bag. All that stuff is things that minimalism, when you're traveling, helps just alleviate those stresses. So since I've been traveling again, and we'll see what travel is in the future with the state of the world, but I thought today I would just bring 5 minimalist travel tips and yeah, hopefully when you are traveling that they can help you. But first, don't forget to like and subscribe. So the first minimalist travel tip I have is a huge one, and it's such an important one. And that's when you're traveling, is to pack a capsule wardrobe. I will link above and below my packing capsule wardrobe video that I made, gosh, years ago now. Maybe it's due for an update, but I will include that if you want a little more, if you want an example of how to pack a capsule wardrobe, because I did pack one for that trip in that video, so that's a good example. But basically a capsule wardrobe is where you pair items that all can be mixed matched together. So usually go for a similar color palette and then you can mix and match them. So you have a very few amount or a limited amount of items, but you have tons of options for outfits. So you can wear a different outfit every day, but you're wearing the same pieces mixed matched together. And I've done this and I love it. I found it a little bit hard to do it with my vintage clothing. But yeah, it just depends. I actually would like to try doing it with a vintage capsule wardrobe. That would be really interesting because I've done like packing vintage and then packing a capsule wardrobe, but I really haven't like bridged the two. So that's something that would be really interesting since I do like wearing vintage style clothing a lot, and I kind of just put it all. I kind of just didn't do that on when I was traveling. So I've been kind of bringing that in. So kind of merging those two things for me would be really great. So maybe I'll do that whenever I do my next kind of big trip. Who knows when that will be, because it's going to be a lot of mini kind of local trips for obvious reasons. But yeah, that could be something that's coming up. But in general, a capsule wardrobe, it saves you so much space. You really have a lot of options, because that's one reason why people overpack a lot. They want to have options. I don't know what outfit I want to wear. I don't know what it's going to be like or whatever. The weather, maybe. All these different reasons. But a lot of those can be solved by doing a capsule wardrobe, and you're still not overpacking. So it's a great option, and honestly, it feels great to pack a capsule wardrobe. So staying on that apparel track, tip number 2 is to keep or try to have your footwear serve multiple purposes. So an example would be if you do work out like I do on vacation, I often do, try to have your like workout shoes also be your travel shoes, or bringing like a neutral color of sneaker or Keds or something like that. That's a kind of shoe that can be dressed up and down. You can wear it very casually, but you also pair it with like dresses, shorts, skirts, jeans, all that stuff, and it still serves the same purpose and it fits with the outfit. So I feel like that can save you a lot of room. The least pair of shoes you can bring, I think you save so much room in your suitcase. So tip number 3 is to consolidate all your entertainment into one device. So I'm a big reader. I read like physical books, I read ebooks, I listen/read audiobooks, like all of that. But I do not bring physical books when I'm traveling. It's just, I think it's a complete waste of space. I have to bring that, well, sometimes I can leave the book, maybe I can donate it or give it to someone, but I still have to take it out to wherever I'm going. I have to travel with it. And then if I want something I want to keep, or it's a library book, I have to bring it back. Even if it's finished, I still have to travel with that book back. I don't have a Kindle because it's a separate like device I would need to read. So I do everything on my iPad, and on my iPad I have all my, obviously, like my streaming apps for like watching movies and TV. So everything is on my phone or my iPad, and obviously those are very slim items that I can pack very easily. So yeah, so I don't have a Kindle, an iPad, a phone, a physical book maybe, or whatever, a magazine. you know, all these different things that can really add up and take up space. And it's just obviously too, the more electronics you bring, the more it's to keep track of, the more you have to charge, the more chargers you have to bring, on and on and on. So I think consolidating your entertainment into as few devices as possible is a good way to go. The fourth tip in this series is to bring only like necessary, basic toiletries. If you're going away for a weekend, some people might feel like they do, but I don't need my entire skincare regimen. I can just make do with maybe like a face wash and maybe a moisturizer. I maybe don't need everything. You know, bringing all the bits and bobs for my hair, like maybe I just don't want to deal with packing all that stuff. For me, I'd rather have the room than carry all this extra stuff that I might not even use anyway. So for some people, they have like an entire like huge thing of like all their makeup. Like I'm only bringing one eyeshadow, you know what I mean? One neutral eyeshadow that I can use for the whole trip. I'm not gonna bring a palette, you know, things like that. I'm not gonna bring like every lipstick I own and all of that. Like just pare down, because the more you do, it really saves room. And also it just, you know, this is what you have and you put your makeup on quicker, there's less indecision. So I feel like bringing, and if the like hotel or whatever gives you like shampoo, conditioner, body wash, I know some people only want to use what they have at home, but if you're looking to save space, leaving those toiletries at home is really like a great thing to do. So my last minimalist travel tip for today is to skip the souvenirs. So I know it's very tempting when you're somewhere to like bring back all these things for people and maybe like a ton of stuff for yourself. But I think a lot of that stuff, and I'm guilty of this as well, just ends up sitting here and sitting there or in a drawer somewhere. Now that's not to say that you shouldn't get something to mark your trip, but like think about it. Like maybe it's something you can use or just something that you can display but that you will look at fondly. Not just every little like cheap thing you can find. And while people appreciate like bringing souvenirs, I don't think it's really expected. I don't think anyone is expecting you to bring souvenirs back for people. So, you know, maybe skip that and maybe pick one or two things that you really want to remember your trip by and kind of limit yourself. You'll thank yourself later, like when you're trying to clean your house out and you have all this stuff from these trips that you had forgotten about. And then also you'll have a more pleasant trip home when you don't have to try to find places to put it all. So those are all my minimalist travel tips for today. I feel like minimalism really like brings like a calm like organization to my life. So I definitely want to bring that to travel if I can, because traveling is so stressful. So anything that can take some of those anxieties and stresses away from traveling is something I'm interested in. So I did this 5 that popped into my head off, you know, right away. So maybe I'll make more of these videos as they come to mind. So let me know in the comments below if you have any minimalist travel tips. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Bye.